Live from WBFF in Baltimore, this is Fox 45 Good Day Baltimore.
Look at that. Just in time for spring, acclaimed chef Jim Benson of 11 Course Catering is taking us on a tasting tour of Tuscany. Yum. Good morning.
Oh, good morning. Thanks for having us.
All right. So how does Tuscany and spring go together?
Oh, definitely. So every year, you know, my wife and I, Melissa, go around the world looking for great new discoveries with food, and we found it in the hills of Tuscany. Stayed with a wonderful family, and Giacomo there and the family at Ribolita really shared the secrets that you're going to find in Tuscany, and just beautiful, simple cooking. And I think in the spring, after the winter, we want to get a little bit of simplicity. We want to get out there and just feel the vibrant nature of spring. And so we found that in Tuscany. And so we have a lot of great dishes, a lot of inside secrets that we learned. And for the dish we're going to demo is a little nod to winter and transitioning into spring. So comfort food of a Ribolita. And just really brings home the simplicity of their culture, the simplicity of their approach to food, and just using what they have, right? And so a little bit of like spring cleaning of ingredients, right?
What did you call it again?
So it's a Ribolita.
Ribolita.
Okay, so it's a peasant stew, getting rid of the odds and ends that we have, right? Just like for spring cleaning. And so we're going to have a little bit of shallots that we warmed in some olive oil. And again, simplicity is their approach. Maybe you have a little half a shallot left, so we'll throw that in there. Some carrot, things that we're going to have around the garden. All right, a little bit of fresh tomato. Maybe you have one tomato around the house, and you're just it's just a little bit of everything. Some fresh cabbages, go with different colors. And, you know, they have black cabbage and different white cabbages, and it, you know, just adds different depth and flavor and color. And then some beautiful beans, some Tuscan beans, some cannellini beans, and they're nice and creamy once they start to blossom. And then salt and pepper. Nothing too crazy for seasoning, because you just want that taste of the earth from the garden. And then a little white wine, what would be some great Italian cooking without some wine. And then some water. And then we're going to let that come into a nice stew. And then as the dish starts to come together, you have some beautiful grilled old Tuscan bread. And Tuscan bread,
that is?
Yes, and what's great about Tuscan bread is that there's no salt, right? So they didn't really have salt in those times, so they just went, and their recipes kind of morphed into what they had to work with, and that's how you have all the wonderful dishes and the different nuances of the country.
That looks good. All right,
and then that's going to thicken up, and you're going to have...
And voila, that's the finished product over there. Now, tell me about this.
Sure, so before we get to dessert, we'll start with our entree.
Oh, if we must get dessert.
So this is puposa, and basically something that just, you take a tough cut of meat. Tuscany is great for their Florentine steaks and cattle, and so we'll braise this with a great Chianti or Brunello. You're going to have great wine options because it's wine country, and we braise that with some roasted carrots and some whipped ricotta from the neighbor. At Ribolita, they had a neighbor that made ricotta, and they just went over and grabbed it. And then we'll finish for a great dessert. This is cantucci, similar to biscotti, but it's a simple almond cookie that they're going to pair with some Vinsanto wine, let that soak in there. And again, you know, it's spring. We want something light, and then we're going to go on and plan our day. But the little Vinsanto wine is going to get you started.
Jim, always good to see you, and this looks amazing. Welcome spring. Thanks so much.
Thank you.